We are back with another pick'em video. It is Friday, January 9th in the NBA. We have a massive slate in the NBA, so really liking the plays I'm giving you guys for today. We're going to have one of these big days coming, one of these big stretches incoming for sure, and hopefully that starts today. So if that sounds cool, go ahead and leave the video a like, comment something down below, subscribe if you're new. All those good things help YouTube push this video out a little bit more. And let's get into the recap of yesterday's video picks so we can hop into the plays for today. And it was pretty much a wash of a day. We ended up having one guy, Trey Jones, didn't play because there was condensation on the Bulls court. Very weird. I've actually seen it before, but very weird. They couldn't get that corralled. I didn't see any pictures or anything, but you can't play on a wet floor. So he didn't play. I was loving that play. Keontae George, I wouldn't have gone to this play, the plus 130 play, if I knew I was only attacking 2 plays, because exactly this scenario, if you miss on the big, plus 130 play, you end up losing a little bit of units, 0.17 units. Essentially a wash of the day, but Donovan Mitchell was a good call, minus 120. This actually moved to 27.5 if you guys saw that, which doesn't typically happen with my plays, but he ends with 30 points in that game at least. I know I saw him with at least 30. So again, a wash of a day, only 2 picks, smaller slate. One of the games got canceled anyway, or postponed. So really liking the slate for today. There's a lot of good picks out there, and I'm going to do another like 5 or 6 play day. So hopefully we come back tomorrow with a monster recap. But never gonna brush over my losses. You guys know that about me. If anyone just comes in here and they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't do very good yesterday. Let's go into today's picks." The brushing over losses. It's honestly a good ploy. Maybe I should do that a little bit more. Yeah, I like to show you guys my wins and my losses and tell you guys why. Keontae George, plus 130 play. He had 1 rebound in the first half, ends with 3 rebounds. It was a good spot. He's been actually catching a decent amount. And then Donovan Mitchell, we talked about the pick and roll ball handling weakness and the spot up defense of the Timberwolves. They came back in this game. Donovan Mitchell was a big part of that because of that one-on-one stuff, and he got to be able to go into his bag and score a whole bunch. He got to the free throw line a decent amount. All those good things. So let's hop into the video picks for today, get back on track here, and give you guys some winners. So jumping in Pross Madness like we always do to start talking about our plays. We got our first play up here, and it's going to be Joel Embiid, who has been hard to trust for the entire year, but the last 5 to 7 games, he's actually been very good. He's been kind of back to his old self, and what I do like to see is he only played 25 minutes in a 21-point game against, or 21-point win against the Wizards. And now he's got 2 days rest against the Magic, so he should be well rested and ready to go. He is questionable, but he has been questionable the past few games with knee injury management. So I think he's going to go out there, play his normal minutes, and you can see his projected minutes right now, 28 to 38. So I think we can expect on the low end of that 28 plus minutes, to which this turns into a 60% hit rate, but a lot of those misses coming early on in the year when he just didn't look like himself. And again, looked like much more like himself the past few games. And we're looking at 25.5 points. It's minus 118. It looks like you can get minus 118 is probably the best value right now on BetMGM. You could get it if you're on Hard Rock, you can get it for minus 115. But yeah, minus 118, 25.5 points for Joel Embiid. I think it's a pretty good matchup for him. Now, why is it a good matchup? It's a low point total. This is a good defensive team. Their defensive rating, the Magic, is 11th ranked, but they're a really good team at not allowing a whole lot of spot up, not allowing a whole bunch of catch and shoot. You can see they rank 3rd in terms of catch and shoot. I think they're 2nd in terms of 3-pointers allowed. So guys that go out there and shoot a whole lot of threes, like a Tyrese Maxey, might be limited in terms of their scoring in terms of 3-pointers, where Embiid gets 46% of his points within the 3-point line, not in the restricted area. And still 36% of his points come there. They're weak in this area. They rank 12th in terms of the restricted area, but Joel Embiid has pretty good touch, and he can do a little bit of damage in the mid-range. He likes the mid-range shots, and he hasn't been shooting as many threes this year as he has in the past. So I like to see that he looks back in form recently. He scored points against teams that are pretty good defensively, and this just looks like a good one for him to be the focal point of the offense. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey is going to be that in every day. He'll probably get the most volume shots, but it's not the most amazing matchup for Tyrese Maxey to go out there and shoot a whole bunch of threes. Same guys like VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, Quentin Grimes, guys that, especially Kelly Oubre, he should be back in this one. A lot of these guys rely on the 3-pointers, at least for the majority of their points, and this is a very good 3-point defense. So I'm liking the spot. I think Embiid can get to the free throw line. 22% of his points come from free throws. They rank 20th there, so they might be fouling him. They don't allow a whole bunch of points in the paint, but they also foul a decent amount, kind of like the Celtics do. They hold down the paint, but if they can't, if Embiid's going to overpower the guys down low, he's going to get fouled and go to the free throw line. We know Embiid likes to go to the free throw line. So Joel Embiid, go out there, flop a few times to get to the free throw line. I don't mind it tonight. And the last thing I want to point to is the fact that they are very weak to this post-up ability too. So if they're going to rely on Joel Embiid a little bit more today and it's going to be a good post-up potential for him, and he should get the minutes today. Let's go to like half, bottom half of the league in terms of allowing points in that post-up spot, and this turns into a 66% hit rate. And if we go to a favorable matchup, 21st to 29th, he's only played 2 teams with this many minutes on the court. That was against the Bulls and against the Pacers, and he had 30 plus in both those games. So I could expect a big game from a guy like Joel Embiid. Probably not going to ladder this up just because it's such a low point total, but I think he will be the focal point of the offense today, even maybe above a guy like Tyrese Maxey, just because I think that's the recipe for success against the Magic. Go to the free throw line if you need to, attack down low, attack in the paint, because these guys usually run you off the three-point line. So going to go with my guy Embiid. Not really my guy. I kind of hate watching Embiid play because he flops around like a fish, but it won't bother me today if he gets to the free throw line a whole bunch. So Embiid, score some points. You've looked great the last few weeks. And that's the first play of the video. Jumping to the next play, I'm going to go to Deni Avdija. This is a guy that's on my fantasy team. It's a guy I watch a decent amount. I think he's the most improved player. He's improved every single year in the league. He's been assisting very well, as you can see from the numbers. 65% of the time he's going over the last 20 games. He's been scoring really well. He can rebound the ball. He can do a little bit of everything. And the Blazers have been really good recently. This is a 6.5 point spread, but we know the Rockets are very good. And we can actually just go to this column on Props Madness and you can kind of see, hey, is this a good matchup? Is this a bad matchup? And for assists, this is a difficult matchup for anyone, but especially a guy like Deni Avdija. Now, what do the Rockets do? They protect the paint. They do not allow a whole bunch of assists in the paint. They do not allow a whole bunch of assists in terms of spot-up shooting. You can see their spot-up is ranked number 2 in terms of assists allowed. Assists allowed overall, they rank number 2. Catch and shoot, they rank number 4. Dominant restricted area, they rank number 4. So they are a very, very good team at not allowing a whole bunch of assists. To me, that means they play a whole lot of one-on-one. So if a guy like Deni Avdija needs to score the ball, he might not be able to get to the free throw line a decent amount because they actually hold down the paint really, really well too in terms of not allowing free throws. They're just a top-tier defensive team, and that's why they rank number 5 in terms of defensive rating on the entire year. So this is just a really difficult matchup for him. He has played these guys twice already this year. In both those games, he stayed under very, very easily. 2 assists in 40 minutes, 39 minutes in that last game. He just played these guys on the 7th. So you get to see these guys one more time. He also played them earlier in the year in November. 30 minutes in that game, only 4 assists in that game, and the potentials were not ridiculously high, especially on a 7.5 assist line. You'd want to see about 15 potential assists. He had 10 or 11 and 11 potential assists in those 2 matchups. But it's not just against the Rockets, it's against teams that kind of scheme this way. We can see the assists allowed, again, very challenging matchup. They rank number 2. 42% of the time he's going up against these teams that don't allow a whole bunch of assists. He's staying under, but he still has some pretty good games here. The other thing I'd want to mention is the fact that they also are very good at not allowing catch and shoot opportunities, not allowing spot up opportunities. We can see when we put that into the equation too, spot up and a team that doesn't allow a whole bunch of assists, this drastically drops his assists per game, minus 2.4 assists per game, averaging 5.1 rather than the massive 10 assists essentially we've been seeing over the last few weeks. So it's very, very difficult matchup for a guy that's very, very good. He can score the ball tonight. I think he might not get to the free throw line, but I think they're going to play a lot of one-on-one here, and it's just going to be difficult for him to find guys cutting to the basket or find guys in spot-up opportunities on a drive and kick scenario. So really, really good spot for him to stay under. Again, they just don't allow a whole bunch of assists. They play that one-on-one type of defense. They say, hey, we're going to hold down on shooters. We're going to find guys that are going baseline and not allow those passes. You can beat us one-on-one all day if you want to, or if you can, because we got good defenders left and right on this Rockets team. Just a very, very difficult matchup for him to get assists, and this is a very high assist line. Not for a guy like Deni Avdija, because he's been crushing this lately, but just for anyone, 7.5 assists is hard to come by. 8 assists. We're looking at guys like Luka, guys like Trae Young, guys like that can actually dime up the ball every single time they're on the court. Those are the guys that might get 10 assists against the Rockets. And we can see there's not a whole bunch of positional data here against the Rockets, but not a lot of players are going over their assist line against this team. And it's because they're probably one of the best one-on-one type of defense. And we've seen that all throughout the year. So very, very difficult matchup for a guy that's been really, really good. But I like the options for the under. You have blowout potential. You have injuries as well. Just a really good spot to attack his under here, especially at a minus 120. So I love Deni Avdija. He's been a dimer. He's been absolute hooping. He can score the ball. He could score 45 tonight. I wouldn't care. I don't think 8 assists is in the realm of possibility today. Obviously, anything's possible, but I really like the under here for Deni, who I love. He's on my fantasy team. Hope he balls out. just don't get 8 assists. Moving to Anthony Black, who has looked like a totally different player in the second half of this season so far. If you actually look at the entire games, he's only over in 39% of games so far this year, but recently, essentially since Franz Wagner went out, he has been an absolute unit. He's been getting a ton more minutes. He's been scoring a ton in some of these games. He's looking very, very improved over the last month or two of the season, and that's really, really good to see. His hit rate has been ridiculous, and again, that goes hand in hand with Franz Wagner being out of lineup. Rebounds and assists for him, again, we're looking at the over rebounds and assists at minus 120 or minus 125 on BetMGM, and he's been crushing this line. 78.6% of the games, he's gone over this. And you also have to put in the fact that there's no Jalen Suggs in this game either. It's just going to be more minutes and more opportunities for Anthony Black to have the ball in his hands. If he goes out there and grabs 3 rebounds, 4 rebounds, that's awesome. But I'm really looking at the assists here. Hopefully get 5 assists, 4 rebounds. That's enough to get us over here at 8.5 rebounds assist line. It's not a very high line for what this guy has been doing recently. Then we can talk about the matchup here, and it's a good matchup. It's not like I'm just going off the hit rate and it's a bad matchup. It's a really good matchup for him to get some assists specifically. We'll talk about that first. 27th ranked in terms of his dominant assist area. 49% of assists come right at the rim. That's where the 76ers are weak, whether it's baseline or guys cutting to the rim. He's really able to find those guys. And then in terms of rebounding, they also they rank 22nd in terms of rebounds allowed. So I'm going to ride the hot hand of Anthony Black. He's been cooking this line really over the last month or two, and that goes hand in hand with Franz Wagner being out. Jalen Suggs is going to be another beneficiary here with him being out. More opportunities for Anthony Black to have the ball in his hands and be able to do some stuff with it. And then for the rebounds, it's just going to be more minutes for him to be on the court. So hopefully this one does stay close. I think it's a great matchup for him to go out there and get this anyway. The hit rate just looking amazing without Franz Wagner too. So just both of those things combined, I think this is going to be a very, very good play for us. If it's a blowout, that would suck because that would hurt our Joel Embiid line too. But at the same time, it will be very good if this does stay close and both those guys get a whole bunch of time on the court. You can see the minutes expected today is 27 to 37 minutes over in 75% of these games. That's a hit rate that I'm loving. Again, if you don't even look at the minutes, he's still over this in 78% of games. If you want to see 25 plus minutes, he's over this in 76. If you want to see like 30 plus minutes, he's over this in practically 77% of games. So really, really liking the spot. Again, not a bad matchup at all in terms of rebounds and assists anyway, but I'm going to add on the fact that the injury, the minutes he's going to get, and hopefully this thing stay close. Anthony Black, you've been kind of a wagon here and going to ride the hot hand. So Anthony Black, rebounds, assists for the third play. Jumping in the fourth play, I'm taking Zion Williamson to score some points today. Absolute textbook matchup for him to go out there and score a whole lot of points. Where are the Wizards weak? They are pretty much weak everywhere, but really weak in that interior defense. 24th ranked there. 81% of the shots come from there. Within 10 feet, that's 95% of Zion's shots, by the way. They rank 28th, and if they're going to foul him, they rank 26th in terms of fouling guys. That's 6 points per game for a guy like Zion Williamson. Now, 24.5 points seems kind of high for Zion, but he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes in a lot of these games. But recently, he's been getting to the 30-minute mark, which I do like to see. And the Pelicans get blown out a whole bunch, which doesn't help Zion's chances to get some time on the court. But if this one can stay close, the grudge match between the two worst teams in the league, 2.5 point spread, hopefully he can see the time on the court here. But really, the main thing here is anytime I see a team that gives up a whole lot of free throws, and I see the Wizards also give up so many, they're very just weak interiorly, which is where Zion feasts. He can get to the free throw line a whole bunch today, and that's when Zion scores a lot of points. You can see a lot of his big scoring games, 5 of 8 free throws, 7 of 9 free throws, 10 of 12 free throws. A favorable matchup for free throws, meaning they give up a lot, 21st to 30th ranked. He hasn't played a lot of them, but in each of those 3 games, he has been over, which I do like to see, 29, 26, and 35 points in those type of matchups so far this year, averaging 30 points per game. So loving to see that. You could also take this at 25.5 for a better payout. Just for the video picks, I'll probably just hopefully try to get you guys a win here at 24.5. But even at 25.5, I don't mind this because he's over that in all 3 of those games as well. The next thing I want to point out is Trey Murphy is on the injury report, not only for his back, but for his ankle as well. He missed last game, and in games without Trey Murphy this year, he's over this line in 3 of the 4 games, which is, again, kind of the reason I'm staying at this 24.5 line. He wouldn't have gone over this against the Warriors. But if he does miss today's game, that's just more volume for a guy like Zion. We saw one of these games, recently that Trey Murphy shot a million times and Zion didn't shoot a whole bunch. So just anytime a guy like Trey Murphy, a big usage player, is going to be out, that's going to translate to more opportunities for a guy like Zion. And this is a perfect matchup to feed this guy, score a whole bunch of points. Again, it's the Wizards overall. You can see Giannis has had some pretty good games against this team, 33 and 37 points. Amin Thompson get over his line, Cooper Flag. They've just been, very, very weak to this for the past however many years they've been bad. And this is just textbook matchup for Zion to go out there within 10 feet, 95% of his shots come from there. That's where this Wizards team is really, really weak. And then again, the main reason I'm looking at this line is the free throws. If they're going to be fouling a whole bunch, send them to the free throw line. Zion, if you shoot 10 free throws, that's going to be a pretty good recipe for a lot of points tonight. So 25 plus points for Zion. I think he can do it against the Wizards tonight because of a whole bunch of different reasons. They're just weak to everything. But again, Trey Murphy potentially being out, the free throw potential here, the shot potential. It's just a really good matchup for him. So Zion, go out there, score some points. Hopefully he gets like 25 to 30 minutes. If you can get anything more than that, that's awesome. I just don't want to see a game where he goes out there and plays 20 minutes. If there's some sort of blowout, both these teams suck. You could see it anyway, but hopefully they suck just enough where they keep it close. And we see a bunch of minutes from Zion tonight. So 25 plus for Zion for the fourth play. Jumping to the fifth play here, it's going to be a weird one because it's going to be a guy that I don't think anyone's ever even heard of. But DaRon Holmes is second. I'm looking at his under 6.5 points, minus 118 on BetMGM right now. There's actually a lot of reasons I like this play, so don't just write it off because it's a weird one with a guy you don't know and it's a low point line. But I do like this play a whole lot. Now, why are we even talking about DaRon Holmes? Well, it's because Jokic has been out for a week or two now, and he's going to remain out for another week or two. But going over to RotoWire, you can see the projected minutes and everything. He's actually projected to start this game, which he has been the last few games, but he's only projected for 13 minutes overall. So he pretty much starts, and then these other guys come in and play their normal minutes. But we see a whole bunch of guys in the injury report. RotoWire is great for showing injury reports and projected minutes and on-off court stats. If you don't know what RotoWire is, by the way, check it out. Link in my description down below. Free trial. It's one of the cheapest tools out there, and it's really, really good for projected minutes and on-off court stats. Who's playing, who's not. But yeah, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, all these guys are going to be probable. Aaron Gordon probable as well. Spencer Jones, the only one that might not play this game. But regardless, even a guy like DaRon Holmes really maxing out around 24 minutes. Even in a game he played 24 minutes, he only had 3 points in that game. So I'm not too worried about him even getting 20 minutes in this game. But it's good to see RotoWire's projecting him for only 13, which is kind of what he's been getting pretty much the entire season as he's been playing. Now, what does he do when he comes onto the court here? Well, he shoots pretty much strictly 3-pointers. 5 of his 6 shots here were 3-pointers. 3 of his 4 shots here were 3-pointers. 3 of his 4 shots here, 3-pointers. The one game he got over, he shot 5 times. He got to the free throw line once, only shot 1 of 2. He had 11 points in this game, 2 of 3 from 3, and 4 of 5 from the field. If he comes in there, shoots 5 times, and knocks them all down, then he's going to go over this line. But I really like the potential here for him to stay under, especially considering he really relies on 3-pointers. And actually going over, I found a couple books that have his 3-point line, namely, Underdog's fantasy, or I guess it's not Underdog fantasy, it's the pick multiplier. They have this at minus 190 on the under 0.5 threes. BetMGM, minus 155 on the under 0.5 threes. So they're saying it's much more likely he doesn't even get 1 3-pointer today. And if he's not going to get 1 3-pointer today, I don't see any, realism that he goes out there and scores 7+ points in this game. If he knocks down even 1 3-pointer, we can actually see that games he's knocked down at least 1 3-pointer. It was 0 to 1. He stayed under this very, very easily in all these games. So, hey, he might come out there and play 13 to 20 minutes. But even so, the books are saying much more likely he doesn't knock down a 3. And it seems like to me, if he's even going to get close, he needs at least 1 3, more likely 2 3s. That's the games he's getting anywhere close. In the one game he went over, he also had 2 3s. So this is going to be a line that I'm saying, hey, 3-pointers, they're saying he's not even going to hit 1. And I think he needs at least 2 to even sniff this line. So DaRon Holmes hopefully doesn't go out there and play 30 minutes and I swallow all my words. But I don't like the matchup anyway. It's against the Hawks. This is a 1-point spread. So hopefully it stays close and DaRon Holmes doesn't come out in there and play a whole bunch of minutes in a blowout. But this is a good team at not allowing a whole bunch of threes anyway. 40% of his shots come from here. They rank 12th. Sometimes he does get some corner threes, but there's just not that many stats. So I like this spot. I just like this spot a whole lot. It's a weird one. It's a guy that none of us even know, but I don't think he's going to get a ton of minutes. And even so, the books are saying probably won't even knock down 1 3-pointer. And again, I think he needs at least 2 to get anywhere close to this line. So hopefully you guys like that one. It's a little bit of a dive, deep dive is what I'm thinking of. A little bit of a deep dive, but really, really liking these weird niche plays. And sometimes these are the best plays on the board. So DaRon Holmes, don't score 7 points. You can go out there and knock down 2 3s if you want, and you still finish maybe hopefully with 6 points. So liking the spot, minus 118 on the under. And before we jump into the recap, you guys have to check out Pick'It. If you're not on Pick'It, it's the best sports betting tracker out there. Completely seamless to use and completely free for you guys to use as well. All you gotta do is go in there, sign up using my code RichPicks or the link in the description down below. And you go in there, sync your sports books, whatever you're on, FanDuel, DraftKings, Underdog, PrizePicks, whatever it might be. You can sync it to Pick'It, and it's got verified tracking for you guys, and you don't have to do anything after that. 552.4 units I am up all time, so it's good to see there's a method to my madness, and I've been a profitable sports bettor really since the beginning of 2024, and I really went heavily last year, up about 390 units in the year of 2025, and we've had a pretty good start to 2026 as well, so really, really good to track your bets. You want to know if you're doing well or if you're doing bad and you need to change some things up, but Pick'It makes it extremely, extremely easy to do that, and they have an amazing mobile app as well, which is honestly what I use the most. Here's a screenshot of what we have done so far this week in my Discord community. We are up 16.2 units. I know people are going to point to the record, but it's because I play a lot of DFS platforms and a lot of plus money parlays. This is one we hit yesterday for a plus 700 or an 8x win. It was a reverse hook. Everyone just crept over their lines, but hey, a win's a win. And the amount of times I've gotten screwed on 0.5 losses is absolutely incredible. So it's good to see some stuff go our way sometimes, and we'll take a creep over. A win is going to be a win here. So yeah, definitely check out Pick'It. It's an amazing app. It's free for you guys to sign up. And again, when you use my code RichPicks, you get $300 just by signing up using that code. So it's a no-brainer, free for you guys, and it's an amazing app. You want to know if you're winning or losing, and Pick'It's the best place for that. So jumping into the recap of what we talked about in this one, whole bunch of games, so definitely a whole bunch of plays. Joel Embiid over his points at 25.5. Deni Avdija, tough matchup against the Rockets, under his 7.5 assists. Anthony Black, rebounds and assists, we're taking the over 8.5. Zion, hopefully can score 25 plus in a very weak matchup, and grudge match between two of the worst teams in the league. Hopefully that one stays close and he gets time in the court. And then DaRon Holmes, the weirdest one of the day, under 6.5 points. I don't think he's going to knock down a 3. Even if he does, he can knock down 2 of them and still not get over this. He really relies on those 3-pointers. So that will do it for me in this one. Scratchy voice, sorry about that. It's been, I don't know why that happened kind of all throughout the video. But yeah, if you guys want to get access to all my plays, there's a link in the description down below for my Discord community. And if you want to check out Underdog, that's the bet I just hit on Underdog. You can check it out using code RP100 or RichPicks. Either one works. Definitely check out Pick'It. You guys get $3 or $100 just by signing up using my code RichPicks. And also check out Props Madness. That was a tool we're using all throughout the video. All these are partners of my channel, and whenever you guys sign up using my code, you get some sort of perk, whether it's a discount or free money essentially, or a deposit match on any of the DFS platforms. But it also helps out the channel a whole lot when you guys do that. So comment down below whenever you guys do that, and sometimes I throw you guys a free month or something of the Discord community. So that will do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Big slate tonight. I'm going to the Celtics game again. Hopefully they actually win this time, and I'm going with a whole bunch of buddies. So it should be a good Friday night. So enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next plays. We got football coming up too, so NFL playoffs. Can't get any better than that. So it should be a fun weekend for sports, but that starts tonight. Hopefully a 5-0 sweep would be amazing to come back tomorrow and do a nice recap of that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Bye.